Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Oh, you stopped at Duncan, huh?
I did.
All right, let's come out with this intro. Let's go hot.
Here we go. Oh, I'm sweating.
That's too much sound. Don't want to get this to get copyrighted, but it got me hyped.
Yeah, I'm
It's
ready for this.
DEKA
Oh,
week. It's DEKA week, baby.
are you ready?
I'm ready, man. I'm
Yeah.
ready. I mean, no, physically, I am not ready because my body hurts from last week still.
Yeah.
But by Friday, I will definitely be ready by Friday. So I'm really excited, And I was like, I
Yeah.
remember saying, um, honestly, that I was scared to do it again because of the
hmm
place that I went when I did it. But I'm so excited to go there again
Yeah.
and
Oh,
just see what I'm capable of to finish out the year.
I know, and it's gonna be so it's not really, at least for the coaching team, volunteer team, it's not new for anybody anymore.
Yeah.
So it's gonna change things a little bit. We all know what it feels like and kind of what to expect. So
Friday night, coaches and volunteers. We're gonna try and live stream it.
hmm
So, but also we'll set up a place that you might be able to come and watch it too.
yeah.
Um, maybe I don't know if it's possible. It takes up the whole gym, so
Yeah.
it's hard to figure out how to then have space for people to watch. I
hmm
remember some people came to watch us do it last time, and it was like, there's not really anywhere for you to sit. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's gonna be fun. You gonna win?
I'm gonna try my best.
I like that. That's
Try
good.
my
That's all you can
best.
do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I
I'm gonna try
think
my best.
you just have to go into it with the mindset that you're gonna win. And I told everybody I would beat them, so I'm gonna act like I am and see what happens.
Yeah, Caitlin's sick right now at home, so
She
unless
might be,
unless she's just using it to rest, and
yeah, she
like,
might be faking this out, trying to get out of today's workout.
yeah. So yeah, it's Monday. It's DEKA week. I'm pumped up.
hmm
Last week, we did 59 seconds of motivation,
Yep.
and I did the 59-second little challenge thing, and it was good. So I put down my overall goal for 2025, and then broke it down into sub goals. Excuse me, it's fizzy this morning, and it was cool to see after breaking it down from how big it is, how achievable the sub goals are, right?
hmm
And then instead of the biggest thing that I got from it was instead of waiting for the reward at the end, which is the overall goal, to put something in that is a reward for getting to that thing really helps, you know?
hmm
Because I think you can achieve a lot of your sub goals, but not get anything from it, right? Not celebrate your achievement and just keep
Right.
moving on and on to the next goal.
hmm
So I like that you have to identify, no, when I do this sub goal, I'm going to reward myself with something. And I thought that was really cool. That's something that I've never done before, I don't think. I don't think I've ever broke it down into sub goals with a reward.
Yeah, it keeps it exciting and keeps you, motivated and invested without constantly just waiting for this huge thing in the distance. And like you said, you might never get there, but
That too, right?
if every time you go on a journey towards a goal, you celebrate things along the way, I think you just think about it differently.
Yeah.
You
And it's
celebrate the
cool.
process.
Yeah, it's cool. It's the thing is, like, the reason I like talking about motivation and the reason I like this stuff is because it's our business, right? We're in the business of motivation, and a lot of people from the outside just think that a gym has equipment and workouts. But if you read through our um, playbook, our coach's playbook, and our values and everything, the hour of the day that you come into the gym is based around a lot of work that I did when I was in college. So I studied psychology. I did a bachelor's degree and I did a master's. My master's degree was in developmental psychology. And for my thesis or dissertation, do you call them dissertations in America?
Um, for a PhD, yeah. I don't know about masters.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the educational system in Europe is almost like a little step ahead, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
a doctorate, master's, my master's in England is almost like a PhD level. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
in America, like you have to write a dissertation. I had to submit it to a journal. You know, I had to do the full study basically.
Yeah.
And I did one on intrinsic motivation in rugby players. And for that study, I studied intrinsic motivation based on a, a psychology program in Rochester, New York, which is the positive psychology department. And they do all their theories on self-determination theory. And basically, this book is all about that. And a lot of people think motivation, like we just talked about, do something, get a reward. And it's great to have goals and it's great to break them down like that. But that motivation only lasts so long, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you're coming to OXFIT and you want to get something so that other people think that you look good, then that is an external motivator that if you're having a rough day, you're having a rough week, you're having a rough month, you might not show up, right? Or if you come in and you've been working out really hard, but you that week you just didn't see any results, you might take a couple of weeks off. So we know that extrinsic motivation is a nice reward, but it's not the thing that's going to keep you engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that we try and build into our program is why you see every workout has a meaning to it for you, for your development, and for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want you to get results. We want you to track your results. We want you to know that you're getting better at stuff, right? So it's layered that way. It's a whole fitness program, not just a random workout where you come and sweat. And that is, there's autonomy, competence, and relatedness, right? And that competence piece is you have to be getting better at something for you to keep motivated towards it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I like about them sub goals that you can take away from that is if you break it down into these sub goals, you'll be able to see when you're getting better, right? If we just did a whole year and then we retested at the end of the year, nobody would know where they're at,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
That's why we do it in them chunks of 8 weeks and
Mm-hmm.
quarters, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And the scorecard is just such a huge part of that now. If you don't take advantage of that scorecard, you're missing out on the opportunity to know where you're at and to track your improvement and to get that reward for that hard work.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about it a lot. A lot of people show up on baseline week. You know, baseline week, the amount of scorecards that get filled out on baseline week, it's almost everybody in the gym.
Yeah.
But then retest week, we don't see as many scorecards filled out, right?
Yep.
And so I think that's on us, just making people more aware of like these checkpoints along the way, right? Which is why we're doing this, which is
Mm-hmm.
why we want to go through the programming every Monday to relate it back to the scorecards, to relate the skills and the strengths back, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think last week was because it was our halfway point and we did all of our 5 reps for the lifts. I just saw how it like re-engaged people because
Mm,
they got really pumped for baseline week. They, whether they continued to show up or kind of fell off, either way, they did what they did for 3 weeks. And then halfway point, we had some really structured like check-ins with these lifts. And
yeah.
then I saw them get excited again, be like, oh, that's what I did for 1 rep. and now I did this for 5, and I'm like, yeah, think about how fast that happened. Retest week is going to be here before you know it.
Yeah. I think we do. We have to have a better halfway point check-in almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we have to make that middle week. What are we, 4 weeks into training,
Mm-hmm.
halfway through the quarter? It's got to just be a little bit more results oriented, I think, which was
Yeah.
good what we saw last week.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know we've had weeks where like you'll test strength, but you won't necessarily record it the same way, so
Right.
that people kind of don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
To take the pressure off. But
Yeah.
I feel like throwing the pressure back on at the halfway point kind of worked, you know?
Yeah. Even if it's, a 5 rep is totally different than trying to max out, but just because it was like straight up just a heavy deadlift. It wasn't a complex or a sumo deadlift so that their scores don't look the same. They got to see all of their history in the same spot.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that that's a good thing. Like we've got them scorecards and you can see your journey over the quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our next thing for 2025 is just tying it in a little bit earlier
Mm-hmm.
and just acknowledging where people are in that and showing them with Wodify, right?
Yeah.
So like we'll have that middle week of the quarter where you get to see that result. Especially
Mm-hmm.
because like we said, this is an all-star cycle. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And so we've had like a hell week, which kind of threw off maybe where
Yeah.
you think you're at.
Yeah.
So to like check back in halfway and see that you
Mm-hmm.
are already making such great progress in this winter training cycle is really
Mm-hmm.
cool. So maybe we need to like throw in a few more tests with some of the skills and some of the other movements just to like check in, you know?
Yeah.
But we also don't want to take away from the retest week. So it's kind of
Yeah.
a catch-22. Maybe it's like
Mm-hmm.
a check-in, but we test things that are correlated but not the same. Like with the lifting, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
not just a straight skill test, but maybe a workout that has them skills in it or something like that, where you can still see your improvement.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, everybody had a gold star last week.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So
Cool.
funny.
So this is how it ties in. So I'm going to share this. This is one of my favorite descriptions of intrinsic motivation. So mastery, what we were just talking about. So
Mm-hmm.
the feeling of competence and continuous improvement via continuous feedback, which is what at OXFIT we try and make sure you get as much as possible. There's thousands and thousands of gyms in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's some really good gyms, but where we separate ourselves is we know exactly where you're at on your journey. There's a reason we have Wodify. There's a reason we're meticulous with making sure you log everything. There's a reason we have the scorecards. There's a reason we tie all this stuff back, not because we care. It's because we know what it does for you. We know that you've got to see that improvement. You got to know why you're showing up every day. And for us, that mastery it's the main thing that I see missing from most fitness programs. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
people keeping their own log and not really logging their scores, people writing them up on a whiteboard and then just erasing the whiteboard at the end of the day. I'm like, that data that you have there is so precious. It tells
Right.
you if your program is working this month. So that's
Yeah.
good for you. But also like just being able to show your athletes how great they are. Like
Yeah.
don't miss that, you know?
Because some people too, especially if you're new to the gym, your first instinct might be, well, I don't really care about the numbers. I just want to, show up, which is totally valid. But in a month, you might care about the numbers. So
Right.
it's important to just always know where you started and keep recording, your weights, your scores, all these things, because there might come a time when you do want the bigger picture.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. And not even that, like you just don't know how cool it is to look
Hmm.
back on some of these things in a year's time and
Yeah.
just be like, look at that graph.
Yeah.
Look at where you were at. Look at what you were back squatting. Look at what you were deadlifting. Just look how much more useful you are now.
Hmm.
You know, how many more things you can just do with your kids, with your family. Like, yeah, all that stuff. So, mastery is a thing that we, as a program, I have almost mastered, you know, we're constantly trying to get better at that. But I feel like thanks to our athlete feedback, we're able to give you more feedback, which is great. It's one of the best things I think we've ever done as the scorecards. So I want to keep building on top of it. Then we've got, let me see if I can make that a bit bigger. Then we've got autonomy. It's a feeling of being in control and working in a way that feels natural. I'm a big proponent of autonomy. You know that from working with me, I hope, right? I give you a lot of autonomy over how you do things. One of my biggest pet peeves was going to a gym or seeing a coach. I don't know how to describe it, but take away autonomy over the athletes, I guess is the best way to say it. So they are not coaching the class, they're controlling the class, which is a very different thing, right?
Yeah.
And what we've done with our program is we've got most days 3 levels, some days 4 levels, but also so much freedom in that, right?
Yeah.
It used to be like, this is RX or this is scaled, and you can only do
Yeah.
one of each. And like, you're either RX or you're scaled. And I saw how negative that was on a lot of athletes, right? Because I want you to feel free based on how you feel that day in some ways, but also based on your goals to get something out of the workout. So if it's a pull-up day, I don't want you to come in and be like, well, I can't do that weight, so I can't do pull-ups. No, you're trying to get better at pull-ups. Screw the weight. I don't give a shit about the weight. I don't care if you don't even do the weight. Like, your goal is that. So I want you to have autonomy over going after that goal. But also, maybe you're level 1 on that movement, level 2 on that, level 4 on that. I don't care. I want you to get out of that workout what you need to get out. Now, if I know your goal, I might take away some of your control because I'm a coach and be like, this is what you're doing. Why? Because it's going to get you better. But at no point am I adding weight on your bar without permission, taking weight off of your bar without permission. Even if I don't think it's the right weight for you, I still won't take a weight off your bar. I'll ask you a couple of times to make sure you're good with it, but I don't want someone ever. I've seen coaches take weight off of athletes' bars and that athlete never come back.
Yeah.
Right? Or add weight onto athletes' bars and that athlete never come back. Because you don't have the relationship, the permission, and the understanding of their goals to take that autonomy away from people, you know?
Right. Yeah. And I think that's, I mean, whenever coaches are, going through the internship or kind of learning how to take that role in front of a class, it's one of the first things that I ask them to do is, you should know every athlete in that room and what they're trying to get better at that day, and whether or not they need to be pushed a little harder on the pull-ups, or if they need to be encouraged to go a little heavier on the weight and easier on the gymnastics, or whatever it might be. And then learning how to give that athlete, the go ahead to do what they need to do to get better at, whatever their goal is.
Yeah. But there's definitely a difference between coaching a class and controlling a class, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And I mean, say there's some days where it's a big class and it's a fun workout and it's not really, we're building towards something in the program. It's just one of them like hero workouts or something like that. Then yeah, everybody's doing the same weights today and we're all going to move. Cool.
Yep.
But most days, each workout has a purpose towards the program and towards your goals. And your job as a coach is not to coach everybody the same. That's not what we do at OXFIT. It's to know your athletes and to coach each athlete towards their goal in a group setting, which is, to me, the gold standard of coaching.
Yep.
That's a real coach, right? In some ways, the most inconsistent coaches are the best coaches, the ones that don't treat everybody the same, the ones that know, hey, that person is brand new. I'm not going to treat them exactly as I treat that person over there. Like, I'm going to ask them a lot of questions and get to know them. That person over there, I already know that goal. They've been here for a year. All I'm going to do is curse at them that they didn't put enough weight on the bar, like completely different experience from me.
Right. So. But they're still getting the same value. And I think that's the thing, is that very different approaches for different people, but they're still getting all of you as a coach, all of your attention and your thought and all of that.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, purpose, right? So the knowledge that the work actually matters, right? And without that, you wouldn't see any of our coaches in the gym. You wouldn't see Savannah sitting on this podcast. I don't think I'd own a gym. You can tell what OXFIT's purpose is the minute you walk in the door, and it's making sure that everybody feels seen, everybody knows each other, and there's a real sense of somebody's happy that you were there that day, mm-hmm. right? Everything else, I don't care about, there's no certain way to greet people. There's no certain way our purpose is that we are happy you came every day and we want you to connect with somebody and we want everybody to know that you're there and know your name and know something about you. And I mean, if you don't feel that right as you walk in, then we failed, because that is definitely our purpose.
Yeah.
We want you to want to come back every day. So now that is a difficult one, is getting to know everybody's purpose, right? That's a deeper mm-hmm. level. The way we build it is we want everybody in our gym to be able to do something hard. We want to challenge you outside the gym. We, set up a whole season of events. We're doing DEKA this weekend. DEKA fits our purpose. Our purpose is to get you to a start line, get mm-hmm. you to a finish line. And get you using your fitness outside the gym, not just getting really good at thrusters and burpees. So, yeah, to me, that is how OXFIT drives you towards your goals. And I don't know how many gyms have this built into their mission, and I don't know if some of them might think that their job is to be the motivator. I think our job is to build an environment that allows people to be self-motivated. And I think it's a different approach mm-hmm. that we take.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're looking to us for motivation every day, then we failed, right?
Yeah.
Our job is to build a program with an environment that is designed for you to find your love of fitness, to improve, and then potentially to find how you can do things outside yourself, outside the gym, like a triathlon, a marathon, a DEKA event. Mm-hmm. And I think we're doing it pretty well right now. Obviously, we're trying to get better at it every year. I think this is the best iteration of OXFIT I've ever seen in 2024. And our goal is to make 2025 even bigger.
Oh, yeah.
And we're almost at the end of 2024, Sal.
I know, 2025. I'm excited. It's like, I can't believe it's already 2025. But just every year, like, everything I learn, how I grow, how the team grows, how the gym grows, like, it just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah. On Monday, we should go over the 2025 season schedule, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the last event pretty much Saturday.
Yeah, this is it.
And then it's, yeah. All right, let's go through the programming quick. We've only got like 5 minutes.
Oh, good.
But today's workout. Go ahead, talk us through it.
Thruster. We're just working towards that 1 rep max thruster that we have coming back in retest week. We didn't get to do any of this last week. We had a lot we did. So I left this for today, but just a complex of heavy front squats and push press. And then you get to move a little faster in the second workout. And like we talked about, this was a great day to kind of pick something you wanted to get better at and focus on that. So I had a lot of people going up in weight on their thruster in the workout and maybe scaling down the pull-ups or vice versa. So
Oh, come on.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And so that's a good definition of that autonomy, right?
Yeah.
Is that everybody's workout today could have looked slightly different.
Yeah. And I think,
Or you could have just RX level 3'd and gone for it, right? Like on all,
yeah.
there's so much autonomy in that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the reps were, low enough that whatever you chose to do, you'd be able to get through it and still get a good workout.
Yep.
So I think everyone had a lot of fun with it.
Awesome. And then we have tomorrow. So was this weekend difficult to program, just building up to DEKA? Or
It always is. And I try to leave some either cardio or workouts that can be scaled down a good bit on Thursday and Friday.
yep.
But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is usually pretty much like business as usual.
Right.
So we got to lift heavy today. Tomorrow we're going to do some more heavy lifting, check in on our 5-rep max bench press after the workout.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be another good like mid-cycle checkpoint for people. And then Wednesday, same thing with that power clean.
Nice.
So I would say last week and this week were considered our mid-cycle check-ins.
Yep. And then Thursday is...
That'll just prime you for DEKA.
Yep. If you're doing DEKA, would you say Thursday is your last day to work out?
Yes.
And then Friday, if you are for some reason away this weekend or something, then you've got a little heavy jump rope, kettlebell swing, med ball sit-up workout to finish off. And then Saturday is DEKA. So our whole week is building towards that. You can enjoy all these workouts. Thursday, if you're doing DEKA, should be your last day to work out. But there's some good skills in there that'll help with DEKA practice. Yeah, great week.
Good stuff.
On Wodify, the link is up there to register if you haven't already. You better hurry up. There's not many heats and lanes left. I think we're over 50 athletes now. So yeah.
Gotta start making my heat schedule.
Heat schedule, yep. And yeah, we'll be all set up and ready to rock. So last thing, I'll close it out. We've got a couple of minutes left in this book. They've got a little toolkit in this book. And I thought I'd share this with you because I'd never heard this before. But all right, so try this, Sav. So it's by a guy called Weber, Alan Weber, and he's got a book called Rules of Thumb. And he offers a path, a smart and simple exercise for whether you're on the path to autonomy, mastery, and purpose. So get a few blank 3x5-inch cards, something that I've never used. That's 4x6. I know that. Because if you put two of them together, it's 10 inches. Like that. So on them cards, write your answer to this question. Okay? You ready? What gets you up in the morning? Now on the other side of the card, write the answer to this question. What keeps you up at night? Okay?
Yep.
Now pair each response to a single sentence.
Okay.
If you don't like an answer, toss the card and try again until you've crafted something you can live with. Then read what you've produced. If both answers give you a sense of meaning and direction, congratulations. Use them as your compass, checking in from time to time to see if they're still true. And you've basically found your purpose. So there you go. Sounds really difficult.
Wait, go back. Use it in a sentence.
Man, I closed it.
Sorry.
Pair each response
Yep.
to a single sentence.
Okay.
So write them as a sentence.
Okay.
So this is what gets you up in the morning. This is what keeps you up at night. And then if both answers give you a sense of meaning and direction, then congratulations, you found it. So sounds pretty good, right?
Yeah. I'm curious to see, like, I think that's very revealing about people's personalities too, because
Yeah.
you made me want to go deeper, but I went very like logical, like type A response.
Yeah. Well, that's good, actually. We'll come back to that. We'll both do it and bring them back next week, and then we'll come back to that in the book because he talks about the difference between type A and type B people
Okay.
and motivation. And a lot of people think type A are really motivated and type B are not, but it's actually not true. So,
Right.
all right. That's it for this Monday motivation. Yeah. Bring that card back next week, Sav.
Got it right here.
Comfortable. I think the cool thing about that is what gets you up in the morning and what keeps you up at night feel very different. But if you can tie them both together, it might like make things a
Yeah.
little clearer, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe you'll get up in the morning a little bit different, which will make you sleep better at night. All right.
Let's hope.
Fingers crossed. All right, Sav. Go get it. Happy Monday.